Thank you for hanging in there with us, folks. We are back with GitGud NA Rookie Division Week 5, Round 10 between Storybook Heroes and Mace to the Face, Sir Waltham and Mana Class here. Mana Class, we left off with a win for Mace to the Face on Lijiang Tower. Now we're going on to Rialto. Let's recap here a little bit.
Yeah, let's recap what happened. Apologies for the snafu, of course. Sometimes that happens. We're still working with technology, of course, and it fails us just as humans do. But that's not a problem for us. We just go to the next one. And yeah, Mace to the Face looked very good on their more, loosey-goosey composition. Did their own thing. Didn't really have something that you could say like, oh, that's like a very meta strategy that we see all the time. And Storybook Heroes kind of adopted more of that. This is how a lot of people do it type of style play. So we're hoping that we see something different from them potentially, seeing if we can perhaps see some more comfort picks come out from them that are not considered to be, maybe meta or like high tier strategy play. But potentially that was just a Lijiang Tower thing, like a control thing, right? Where the chaos just overcame them. And now in Rialto, they'll be able to completely turn that around, use the strats, use the big brain thinking, and just bring us good Overwatch and win a game.
Yeah, and additionally, there was quite a bit of pause between these two teams, or between these two games, rather. So a lot of time for the mental to really clear from Storybook if they're kind of caught up in any of those mind games.
Yeah, and maybe they actually watched a bit of the stream. They heard us talk about what we thought about Rialto, and they actually,
Incoming in 30 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop the pain.
As well here, the gates are going to be opening up, and the cartridge starts to make progress for the side of Storybook. Mace to the Face going to be on the defense to start, obviously, here as we see them. Konotoki not quite able to find these angles, but Daiboza going to be taking a couple of shots from the Lucio. Now the defense going to be on the back foot. They're being pushed backwards here. Konotoki trying to take advantage of this high ground, trying to find something. Has to be careful of that Ash and the May, though. Those icicles and Viper bullets are going to hurt.
And plays being made off the back of that May wall. We saw that a little bit on Lijiang Tower, and I'm very glad that Reach is still playing that. It's apparently a comfort pick for them. Konotoki just gets domed by Long there on that Ash. Normally the long range is in favor of the Widowmaker, but Konotoki not drawing the shorter end of that straw this time.
Yeah, the Maywall going to be coming up, blocking the defending team from really having the ability to get into cart, and Long just absolutely going to be swept on by Trainier. And right now, that might have been the pick that the defense really needed to help rotate things around in their favor. They're certainly going to be trying to reach forced into the ice form. And the brawl just taking place here. Neither team are really getting too much advantage, but a big shatter coming in from third degree. Trainer going to make sure that they can't capitalize on it too much, though. Reach cleaned up, and at the very last moment, it's going to be on Mace to the Face, able to bring it back.
Yeah, it's such a shame that they don't really get that Reaper with that shatter. Of course, understandable. Reaper will usually stalk around the edges a little bit. I've really got positioning correct there. Trainer just not shattered and just domes third degree after they shatter and think, oh, I can just go in and smack and swing and charge now. And that was a no, the answer to that statement. So Reach will have the Blizzard now, which is very good in this more closed space that they have to hold in now, this cart. And there's not really anything that can stop it.
Yeah, there is going to be the sound barrier. We'll see if it comes into play this fight. The nano boost certainly will, and the sound barrier from Kaiser will be in there. Lands on 5, not able to save Daiboza from that big pin. The nano pin going to be taking down most every target in the game. The high noon not going to be enough to save Konotoki. They decided just to save it, ready for the next fight in streets.
Yeah, and all that really set up by the nano boost, and then even the sleep dart and the anti-nade from Dynamic J did a very good job on that Ana over there. It's always good to highlight those support plays because you might miss them in the chaos of everything. But yeah, third degree has gotten another shatter up. That Boza hasn't even gotten their first one, so the Reinhardt dominance has been established. That was necessary after Lijiang. That was a bit of a lull that third degree was in. Got to play the game, but that was just about everything they could have gotten done there.
Yeah, and we're going to see if they can do a little bit more here. Long setting up for those dynamite shots. Just getting that poke damage burning up. Already has Bob, but still going to be applying a little bit of pressure. Bob going to come in from Konatoki, getting a quad kill with the high noon. But Bob going in ain't going to be enough to save that. And with that, Konatoki saved Mace to the face from this entire push.
And we talked about it before the break. You do not want the defense to just be allowed to set up in this high ground because there's so many plays you can make around it. You do not only have a shooting gallery where you just have high ground control, but also that opportunity to drop down on them on any place around that corner that you really want. This time they drop behind them with the high noon. There's nowhere the attackers can go. And Mace to the face gets the 4K.
Yeah, gonna be absolutely huge. The grab coming in from Burbs, the trainer dropping the Death Blossom off the back end, but the sound barriers there. Not gonna be able to save Rainbow though, as they do take a pin. And Diboza gonna be doing their best on this Reinhardt. It's gonna be another hold for Mace to the face as soon as they can get this on out of the way.
They did get that one kill on the Konatoki, so the range advantage should be there with Long, but they just die late, and that means the respawns are going to be about the same time that they're going to be there. Ultimate-wise, it hasn't been really that much in favor of either of the teams. They're still going relatively even on this department. I would say slight edge here to Storybook Heroes. With that nano boost once again ready, and third degree, it's probably going to want to go to about 5,000 degrees with that one.
Yeah, a little bit scalding. But with that now, it's going to be Storybook looking to get up on that high ground. Now they want that dominant position here. The poke coming in from Boomy, they will have that grab online, but the autofocus down, Diboza just swinging, getting a big Earth Shatter as well. That's 3 by my count, and with it, the kills continue to come through. Mace to the face now just imposing will upon Cart. Doesn't look like the offense is able to do anything.
No, it is really all about the way they're rotating, the way they're just walking around with this Lucio. They're just out-rotating Storybook Heroes right now with that Lucio going through the high ground, and there's nothing that can be done against it. It's just a simple out-maneuvering through that high ground every single time. They drop in front of them, they drop behind them, or they drop in the middle of them. Whatever they do, they keep getting the value. And now you see this high ground contest coming out once again from Storybook Heroes. They really need to establish their high ground dominance.
Yeah, the high ground dominance is going to be difficult to maintain when there's a grab holding you there. And with that, the Maywell also going to be trapping them in Storybook Heroes, taking that fight so quick off the back of one grab. A big pin coming in from Burbsa as well, continuing this push right up into the choke of the team. Or not the choke, but rather the spawn of the team. They want this second point basically uncontested. Nobody's going to be able to touch, but they still invest the Coalescence and the Blizzard from Reach.
Yeah, the Blizzard from Reach is very good, though, because that overextension from Kaiser Baby and potentially one or two other heroes could have really helped them snowball into third here. It's unfortunate that they don't get more than that Lucio, but that Lucio gives them a speed boost advantage. They get the kill on the Diboza as a result, but third degree goes down as well. That's a shame. You could have really gotten something going there if you just traded that Reinhardt.
Yeah, now there's going to be a little bit of a lull, but Long still using that dynamite to get that damage in.
They have to wait for their Reinhardt. They can't really push without him, but they'll have a Shatter. They'll have a Nano Boost. Sound Barrier's coming up close. A lot of ultimates aligned for both teams, really. Only really one or two missing, and that could spell disaster for either of them.
But Bob goes in, gets sucked up into the grab from Burbs. Diboza getting a double kill with the Fire Strike. You like to see it every once in a while. The Sound Barrier coming in late from Kaiser Baby. Not sure it was necessary, but it's going to ensure the defense holds this time around.
Yeah, and then the question is now going to be, because you say it might not have been necessary, how much of that is going to bite them later in this next fight? Because there are still 5 ultimates online here for the attacking team. You've only got 3 yourself. Maybe somehow Konatoki or Burbs that can get another one up in the next fight. But you're going to be down, especially on support ultimates. And with that Graviton Bomb Boomy still being there, I really don't know how that's going to be stopped.
Yeah, the grab coming in. Trainer dropping the Death Blossom from the back end. Manages to just get the supports. The defense manages to pull it out despite the grab. And with that, they did invest the Death Blossom, but they hold.
Yeah, nice defense. And somehow they get away from that Graviton, even though the Graviton was huge and they didn't have any support ultimates. I mean, they had the Coalescence, which helped them a little bit. Mm-hmm. And maybe you should have just nanoed the Reinhardt into that. That could have helped, but unfortunately they weren't ready. And now Diboza is ready for the flank shatter. He's setting up for it.
Going for it. He gets 2, the Lucio and the Zarya. The sound barrier comes out though, and now Daiboz is stuck on the wrong side of the field. Reach, bring that wall up quickly. Excellent play coming in from the May. The Zarya going to be taking a little bit of a sit down, as well as Third Degree returns with their own Earth Shatter. And now Storybook Heroes continue this card's momentum.
Yeah, Reach's May walls have been so good. It's got the Blizzard up right now as well. Bob is relatively close, and only that High Noon and maybe the Graph on the other side. They're getting awfully close to this checkpoint. Almost overtime, so this will be the last fight.
Yeah, that Blizzard's going to be coming out, and the High Noon from Konotoki gets walled off, though, not able to find too much. Reach does go into that ice form, gets stunned out, but doesn't quite get focused down by Konotoki. Finally, Konotoki able to land that headshot. Bob on the point for the attackers, trying to make it happen, does take out the Moira, and right now the numbers are looking very scarce. Long so low, but so is Konotoki, who ends up winning that fight. And now it's just going to be the Zarya cleaned up. Overtime burns down, and the defense have managed to prevent that 3rd point cap.
Oh, so close. In the High Noon, first blocked by the wall. Then they sped the McCree around the wall. Still got blocked off by the shield of Third Degree. And then afterwards, it sort of unraveled. You know, the shield was broken, and then the Bob, yes, the Bob came out, got 1 or 2 kills. But by then, it was already too late. Too many members had fallen. And yeah, good heads-up play in general, I would say, from Mace to the face to be able to be defending here. But they still need to complete this map, and it can be a much larger hill to climb than you can sometimes give teams credit for, because Rialto, it's a fairly long map, and if you cannot keep momentum up after that first point, or even struggle to cap first point, you're really gonna have to race until they get to that 3rd point, and it's almost there. They almost have to actually get the 3rd here.
Yeah, and Rialto's, to me, one of those maps that always feels like every part of the map works to slow you down, with the exception of maybe like the first half of 2nd point. But as the attackers, it always feels like it's an uphill advantage. It just feels like Rialto is an entirely uphill map.
Yeah, kind of one of those things, you know. I think we got a fun fact coming up here. I don't know if you wanna read that one out, Waltham, or you want me to do it?
Yeah, you go ahead, Classy.
Okay, so the fun fact that we had, which I think actually was true as well, that Phoenix used Coalescence, and every single time they used it, they also, you know, won the fight. So Phoenix Moira, forced to be reckoned with, but they are going to be on the Ana this time around. So with that Genji, I guess they just want to go for the Nano Blade. I get it.
Yep. Yeah, we're certainly going to see if it manages to happen here. Both these Reinhardts holding these angles, but Third Degree getting more swings in, getting that damage in. And now Storybook Heroes having to back off, relieve some of that pressure. The Maywall trying to come out, but the Reaper in the backline tries to deal that chunk damage. Boomy dangerously low. And now it's the Reinhardt section off. Third Degree gets the easy pin onto Daiboza. And now it's the attackers who have to take a little bit of a back foot and turn heel.
Konotoki tried to go on long on that Ashe with the Genji, and I think Ashe would be the only thing that can really dive. Moira and Lucio have too much of an easy time to get away. And the tanks, I mean, you can do a lot of chunk damage on it to build that blade, but killing them on your own will not really happen from a flank position. Trainer, though, is the other flanker. They go through this little corridor on the side now. Might actually end up behind them.
We'll have to see, and it looks like they're taking the high ground positioning here. Daiboza going to be dropping right down, going for the reverse pin. Looks like they got stopped. They did not quite land that pin as they would have liked. Third Degree taking down Daiboza for their arrogance. The Coalescence now coming out from Dynamic Jade. She's looking to make a change happen, or at least keep her team up. The shield's so low from Third Degree, they don't have that as an option anymore. But once again, the attackers run tail between legs.
Yeah, and a minute and a half gone already. A good start to this defense. You just really see it here, where Reach seems to have become more reactive with their Maywalls, and they've been landing every single time that they've made this play with a speed boost or anything like that. Maywall goes up, Daiboza has walled off, and you see it again.
Yeah, the Third Degree going to be throwing in the Shatter, gets two. And Konotoki so close to that blade, gets the nano, I do believe, from Phoenix, but not able to pull out that blade, and pulls it out and dies immediately to Third Degree. You can't have that.
2 minutes, you waited for that, and then that happens. That's such a shame. And are you going to swap off now? It does look like Phoenix at least will. Konotoki as well. They're going with the Sigma now. They really want to have more sustain and more shields, it seems, but they're going to lose a lot more damage because of that Zarya not being there. Of course, they do get the Ashes of return, so that might be might be helping them out. Ooh, the wall, not hitting this time.
Yeah, Reach not going to be able to land too much on the wall.
Oh,
huge from Trainer. These Shatter into Death Blossom. Gets the 4-piece. Phoenix there to clean up. They've had enough of this. They continue.
Yeah, and there's this concept that started during GOATs where you have the offensive and the defense speed boost advantage or disadvantage, and that's so important here. The Kaiser Baby speed boosts are just giving this advantage every single time, but this grab is huge.
Yeah, and the sound barrier gonna be trying to come out, but Kaiser Baby once again not able to save Diboza. Gonna be dropping just a few seconds before Bob now getting called onto the field from long, and this is such an unfortunate spot for Mace to the Face to have to lose control of the cart, which it looks like they're gonna do as they have to back up.
Yeah, and they're not even getting that many ultimates that they still need. They have the Coalescence, so we know that Coalescence has been their fight-winning ultimate so far. But Konotoki on the Ash with a Bob has to be pretty big about it as well, especially since there's that Shatter and the Coalescence on the other side, and even the Blizzard coming up from Reach.
Now, as we see that Ash on a high ground, dangerously low, Trainer takes down Long. That is a great opening for this now offensive team, but Diboza dropping means that they're not going to have that front line that they absolutely need to. The supports, however, for the defense looking dangerously low. Bob's doing his best, and his best is apparently good enough as this card's going to make it to first point.
Such an unfortunate ball. They trap Bob in with themselves instead of the other way around. You kind of want to have Bob not be in there so he can't see you and he won't shoot at you. But unfortunately, that's exactly what happened there. Long dies again to Trainer there. Trainer has been doing very well by just, stalking around and skulking on the flanks. And they take this very aggressive positioning here as well. Just the Moira pushing the cart. That's what you like to see. Use the momentum. Buy as much space as you need because you do need that time. That 2.5 minutes can just disappear in the front of your eyes.
Yeah, of course, now we're going to see these teams get a little bit more conflicted. The Maywall coming out from Reach will be opened up a little bit by Trainer. But now the Blizzard coming in from Reach is going to be getting it right in front of the cart. A lot of members cut out, specifically that tank line. And with that, Mace to the Face decides they don't want to fight this any more than they have to. They're backing off.
And there you see the speed boost advantage working in the favor of Storybook Heroes, where they make the initiation, and the reactive speed boost of Kaiser Baby is just not fast enough because you still need to speed up your team, and then by the time you've done that, they're already on top of you. And that's really a mechanic that we keep seeing happening in this game so far, where the speed boost advantage has just been showing whether the teams had their Lucios online or not.
And now Trainer once again plugged in, gets Long. Gonna see if they're gonna be interested in dropping this Death Blossom Dynamic Jade, popping a Coalescence, but the Earth Shatter coming in lands on 4, and with that, it looks like Mace to the Face have some swing momentum coming up here, and Diboza charging in onto this Zarya. Now it's looking a little bit staggerish here for Storybook Heroes.
Yeah, you really, really, really don't need that one where you're gonna be saying, oh yeah, we need that Death Blossom here. Totally not wasting that ultimate. Not have 2 support ultimates and 2 DPS ultimates. The Death Blossom already gets 1.
And it takes down a Rainbow. That's a lot of stall from that sound barrier gone. Phoenix gonna be trying to heal the team against Bob, but does get focused down by that giant Reinhardt hammer. Cart not able to be contested enough. That second point's gonna be capped. The Maywall comes up, barely able to save a few lives. Oh, but not enough. Konotoki gonna take that headshot on exit.
And you just walk into 2 fights, use 1 ultimate, and win both of them. While the enemy team is using 1, maybe even 2 ultimates every single time as well. Now we will see Rainbow have that sound barrier, Reach have the Blizzard, but that's literally about it. And with 2 minutes left and 4 ultimates in your bank, you gotta feel good about this if you're Mace to the Face. You just gotta push it in.
Certainly gonna be trying that, and Bob's gonna be leading the charge here. Rainbow dropping that sound barrier. The grab flux from Burbs doesn't quite land too much, gets stunned out regardless. Trying to land the accretion, fails to hit it. The Coalescence now coming in from Phoenix. Phoenix going to be trying to keep their team healed up. Burns down to Reach before they can get to the Ash, but will not be able to save themselves. Konotoki going to have to be maintaining themselves with the help of Kaiser Baby, but it doesn't look great for Mace this fight, especially with that Earth Shatter coming in, but the response barrier from Kaiser Baby. This fight going a lot longer, and Burbs helping it to go longer as the kills come through. The tank's looking so good for Mace to the Face. They're going to get it with 1.5 minutes.
Yeah, and they just complete the map and win the map because there was, of course, no map completion from Storybook Heroes. That's a 2-0 lead here for Mace to the Face. And you can really see where they get the value. You know, they barely gave Long any room to fight. Trainer was on top of them constantly. And yeah, I mean, it's hard. You know, that Reaper spotting out where they're going to come from. You got to be ready. And at some point, I do feel that it's just on you that you're not seeing where they're coming from. You don't have that game awareness. And of course, that's not something we expect from everyone. You know, the higher you get, the more game awareness you'll naturally have. But if you've been caught out three or four times by their Reaper in like the similar sort of fashion, you kind of got to figure that that shouldn't be allowed to happen anymore. And what you do against it as a team, not just as long individually, that's really what's going to define whether you're adaptable or not enough or not. Sometimes to really win the next map, because you do really have to. You're 2-0 down, and without that map win, you're not going to be able to win a series.
Yeah, and I'm looking up some fun facts here. You know, we love throwing those out here. We talked a lot about Konotoki. I feel like I talked a lot about Konotoki on the first map, but now Trainer kind of
Yeah.
flipping that and making themselves the known DPS. Got a 69% kill participation round rate for Rialto. That's pretty good for Reaper.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice number. You know, you see it happen a lot on the internet. I don't really know why. It seems like a pretty random number to me, but it's a really nice one. You know, it's 69%. Yeah, it's a lot. It's almost 70. That's what I know. There will be some substitutes being made though, so that's always a good thing. Seeing some new players take the stage. And Storybook heroes are the ones that are going to be swapping a little bit. That's going to be Reach being subbed here for Chukala Bulk. Wait, we Kusala Bowl, right?
Yeah, we had a little bit of a
Like
talk about this.
Kusala Bowl. I think Kusala Bowl was like the thing we sort of got on the sheet. So I think that's pretty much what we're going for. And Kaiser Baby is going to be subbed in for subbed out, and subbing in will be Autumn. So both teams making a move. Now we'll see if that actually is going to end up working in their favor or maybe to their detriment. Mace to the Face has been having a very proven formula. They don't really, it doesn't really feel like they need to really swap anyone out. It's swapping a support out as well. And then on the other side, I mean, maybe you could swap out the DPS. I think that might work. You know, it's going to be something that can work in your favor. So we will see those swaps happen right now. Going into King's Row next, because I mean it's hybrid, so that's pretty much the only map we actually have. I think. Are there any maps? Are there any maps in the pool?
I feel like way back in the day there were other hybrid
Maybe.
maps, but
Yeah, right. They should. They.
no, it's just
There's legends. The Legend of a mystical land called Numbani, which there's actually a book now. Hero of Numbani, Savior of Numbani. I forgot what it's called, but it's a proper novel. You know, it's not just like another comic. It's a full on book. First chapter is like the first 2% of the whole thing. So you know, maybe if you like lore, that you're gonna get some from that one. But yeah, going into King's Row, we've seen a lot of Ryan Zarya, so I'm not expecting that to change. We've seen some Reaper, we've seen some Ash, maybe we'll see some Echo here again. But the most fun thing on King's Row is when teams try to actually play the Orisa Sigma composition on the defense and put their Sigma and Ash on the high ground and the Orisa on the low ground, and then teams have to attack that. Well, it's a multi-pronged defense, and you're sort of walking into this pincer trap maneuver. And I always like seeing when teams do that and pull it off correctly. I'm not really expecting that from these teams, but if they try it, I'm all for it. You know, if you've seen it happen, if you think you know how it works, if the enemy doesn't really have any way to break it, then, you know, why not? You know, again, you know, if it's not broken, you don't have to try and mend it.
That's absolutely true. Now, I just realized something here. I've just put the pieces together looking at the team sheets and the character rosters and things like that as we head into King's Row, or as we're about to head into King's Row in just a little bit. But so obviously Storybook Heroes got to pick the map. But what would you say if I told you that despite looking like a very Ryan Zarya-esque team, Mace to the Face doesn't prefer King's Row? This was not a preferred map for them. This was not their preferred hybrid.
No, it does say in fact that Mace to the Face has Mace to the Face didn't pick the map. Their preferred map is Blizzard World, but Storybook Heroes does like King's Row a lot. So that might actually change things, right? Where you know they want to play Ryan, they want to play potentially want to play Zarya, and then they're playing against a team that doesn't actually maybe want to play that, and then not on King's Row either. So if there's a map to turn it around on, I think this would definitely be the one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just weird to me because like it feels like Daiboza and Burbza really good on that Ryan Zarya. How do you not lean into the map that is the most Ryan Zarya favored in the game?
Yeah, I don't really know.
I mean, who can tell why us lower tiers do the things we do? But as
I mean, we can ask about all these meta things, right? But like that's the hard part. You know, we always think like, are these gonna go comfort picks? They're gonna do the same thing they did before because they're just good at those heroes. or are they actually have they watched Overwatch League and they think they can pull that off now, or what's been going on the back line. And I really like. I mean, I'm not saying that I like that they switched out Reach. I think Reach was doing a really good job, but I do like that they're sticking with these potential Mei strats because they've been playing around the Mei walls really well on the side of Storybook Heroes. And if they now can have Boomy in here with the Zarya still, the Ryan Zarya, you can really smack down on a team that's not ready for the Mei wall, especially with a Lucio speed boost. And there is no Lucio speed boost on the defense now because they swapped out their Lucio player. They now have Autumn on the Brigitte.
Yeah, of course, that Torbjorn going to be coming in, trying to get some pester damage as well, adding pretty much a 7th man onto the field. But an anti-nade going on to Long means that Ashe is going to be a little bit more wary to take those engagements. The turret getting torn down. Maywall trying to come out, doesn't catch too much, but Third Degree definitely going to be catching a Trainer in that giant pin, taking down their counterpart in Diboza. And with this now, Mace to the face doesn't look like they stand a chance for this defense on first point.
Yeah, once again, a good start for them as they did well to start out on Rialto as well. Now it's just to hope that they can actually pull it through to the end of the map and get 3 points on the board. And they are already aggressively posing. We do see Konotoki going very low on that Torbjorn, but the archway is not... as I say, of course, they are able to position up at that archway, so not a lot of space bought here for the attackers.
Yeah, not too much indeed. Perhaps a little bit of diligence there. Third Degree taking an anti-nade, going for the Earth Shatter to try to counter compensate, but doesn't land. Gets blocked right away by Diboza. That heads up play from the Reinhardt. And with this, now the attackers don't have that front line, but the defense not really pushing past the choke either. That is until Burbs are going to be on that Zarya trying to get that damage in.
Yeah, now we do see the Shatter and the Graph already ready for the defense. Boomy not quite at that Graph just yet. And Konotoki with that Molten Core could be dangerous as a combo with that Graph.
Yeah, we'll see if they can make it count. Burbza trapped, or rather throwing in the grab. Boomy retaliating with one of their own, and the pin onto Trainer means that the offense here now set up in a very good spot as soon as their cleanup comes through.
That Coalescence so strong as a defensive tool against something like a Graviton, and even as an offensive tool. And we heard how well Phoenix was doing with the Moira before, how they won every single fight the Coalescence was used. And now Dynamic Jade kind of trying to turn that around on them. He's saying, you know what, you can win fights with Coalescence. Well, if you don't have one, and we run a Moira, so can we. And now they even have a sound barrier to really sustain through the next thing. So even if that Molten Core and the Shatter come out, if Rainbow doesn't get caught, that could be a huge counterplay.
As this cart continues to move forward, the Earth Shatter trying to come in from Diboza doesn't seem to find too much. Bob on hand with Long. Are they going to be investing it? The Earth Shatter coming in now in return from Third Degree, going to be knocking 3 down. Doesn't quite claim it though. Konotoki and Trainer both throwing their ults in there as well. Long trying to use that Bob to leverage a little bit, but it's not going to be enough as the Molten Core consumes most of the Storybook heroes.
Yeah, unfortunately, that counterplay from Trainer, especially coming in there with the Death Blossom, just denying any follow-up on that Shatter and that Blizzard play. They actually had quite a few people frozen, quite a few people just controlled with the CC. But if you can't follow up because you're dead or because you're just being zoned out by a Molten Core and a Reaper, then the plays are just made for no real value.
And now we're seeing Storybook heroes push up past this corner. But a sleep dart onto Third Degree might make them stutter step just a little bit. Konotoki taken down by Long, and now the Coalescence to initiate from Storybook heroes. Third Degree does take a little bit of a fall, a little bit of a stun rather, but gonna be healed up by Dynamic Jade on that Moira. That Reaper in the backline gonna be called out, spotted out, and prevented from dealing that damage. And this Reinhardt is taking so much punishment on the end of Third Degree. It is looking so brutal, but Storybook heroes able to hold out for the time being. We'll see if they can maintain through this grab. Rainbow gonna be dropping that sound barrier as well. The Earth Shatter coming in, and now it looks like Mace to the Face gonna be able to perhaps get some cleanup opportunities here. Third Degree, another Earth Shatter on deck, looking to land it. The Maywall comes up, separates their own team, doesn't quite enable the kills to come through off the back of that Earth Shatter. Trainer dropping the Death Blossom, while Nano going to be getting 4 kills off the back end. Mace to the Face after a long fight holds.
Oh, that's such a shame. You were so close to getting like that winning play. The wall was actually not that bad. Could sort of like soft reset the fight for them. But then Trainer just walks in with the nano boost, and you wanted to just go in with a shatter play potentially, or do something with your ultimates that you had to just waltz over the other team with your speed boost. Unfortunately, couldn't get that done, and now they're in a precarious position because they have long spawns, 2 minutes to go, and only a Coalescence.
We'll see here as this fight goes underway. Both Reinhardts swinging for each other once again. An anti-nade going to be on the attackers, going to be slowing them down a little bit as Rainbow, Kukalidbold, and Long going to be forced out, and Third Degree absolutely punished with the lacking of backup there with that Mace to the face. Now pushing forward, getting aggressive with this defense a little bit.
Yeah, and the question is really whether or not maybe they need to learn from Trainer consistently being in their back line and figure out a different way of dealing with that. That's why the Long McCree probably comes out. They just want to keep flashing the Reaper and just deterring their value. But I don't know if that's going to be enough. We now have both DPS on an off angle here on the high ground. Konotoki falls in the middle of the enemy team, but manages to leg away as a soldier does. It's now in Trainer and Konotoki both been chased off.
Yeah, the grab coming out from Burbza going to ensure a lot of damage can be poured onto the attacking team. In fact, it will be with an anti-nade as well. The Blizzard, however, in response from the attackers, and Kukalidbold going to be coming in, cleaning up Burbza. And Konotoki trying to drop that tack visor. Can they make it happen? It looks like they can only get the May, and with that, Cart finally makes it to second.
Yeah, 2 minutes 25 to go. They could have maybe had more, but they finally seem to have found an answer. They sort of feign an attack, and then they wait for Trainer or Konotoki or someone to show up behind them, because that just seems to be the theme of the game. There's always someone behind us, especially Trainer. They deter that Reaper first, and then they go in. Not before they can have like a full committal to their front line by everybody.
Now we're going to be seeing the Boomy grab come right out, trying to land, although the focus doesn't quite seem to be there. And Dibosa trying to drop the Earth Shatter, gets cleaned up by Dynamic Jane, just a little bit too low on that, and then the Return Shatter from a Third Degree is going to be landing hot and spicy here. Rainbow doing their best on Lucio to get the clean up, and with that, Staggers have to come in.
Yeah, all the Wrecking Ball touches just in time. The High Noon does come out. We'll take care of that. And so does Konotoki go down. Trainer doesn't quite make it. It's a shame. They were so close to the Death Blossom. It was good that it went down when they did, when that Shatter landed from Third Degree in the part of the fight before that. Otherwise, Trainer might have done more damage. But they do complete the map with over a minute left as well. That's a good position to be in, because you've put the pressure onto Mace to the face to really speed through this map and complete it before it hits overtime. Otherwise, you're going to be in very good position here, because they capped that first point very aggressively.
Yeah, they did. Storybook Heroes now looking to kind of rewrite a little bit of the story as it goes. They're going to want to be the ones in the dominant position. It didn't quite work out so well for them on Rialto, where they didn't quite finish the map, if I'm remembering properly. So now they're going to be a little bit more relieved. They're going to be able to hopefully play the game a little bit more comfortably.
Yeah, we're looking now for them, obviously, to set up their own defense. It's going to be fairly similar as what they were running before. Of course, Long will try to just go back to this Ashe. But it's going to be Dynamic Jade on the Ana. They apparently prefer this Ana over the Moira. But the Lucio is going to stay from Rainbow. Of course, Sound Barrier is a very nice tool. You can still use the boops to put people out of position, especially for those Mei walls. And how are they going to attack this? They might actually go with this Genji Sombra. It's not a bad strat. And if you can get behind the enemy for free, which they've been able to do a lot, then why not?
Yeah, it looks like this Genji not going to be sticking around, though, as the gates open. Konotoki going to be on that McCree that we've seen them be fairly reliable on. Trainer on this Sombra is a new look, though.
I don't mind it. You know, like I said, you can get the off angles fairly easily, and they're going to try and hack something. They haven't quite gotten the hack off, but there it is on Boomy.
Yeah, Boomy not going to be able to get those barriers out, but can still output some sense of damage. And Storybook Heroes having to back off, and now it looks like they're getting close to rotating through Hotel. And it's so weird to see Trainer fighting up in the front lines with their team like that. But now the kills starting to come through. 2 supports taken down. Konotoki doing their best, and with that, the kills just flood in for Mace to the face. And Dibosa trying to chase down Rainbow on this Lucio. You're probably not going to catch him, fam.
No, probably not. And it's really weird to see Trainer just hold right click. He's going to hold right click, and as soon as an opportunity to hack something comes up, it will just automatically hack it. I don't think that's a bad strat to do, but if there's only one barrier, you might be able to get more just chip damage out. They have been doing some. They maybe could have been a bit higher on that ultimate charge. They sort of played a rush Sombra, which you don't see that much.
Yeah, the Earth Shatter going to be coming in. Doesn't knock a whole lot of people down, but Dibosa is just going to get the kill onto Dynamic Jade. The hack onto the Zarya, and she has no protection, nothing to keep her going, save a Lucio who's not even out of the water for themselves.
Yeah, Dynamic Jade on the Ana, and it doesn't have the shift escape anymore, and that fade, so we'll probably be caught out a bit more than that. Maybe can use the sleep dart a bit to try and do that, but it's of course a slower reaction. He can dodge Earth Shatters with that. We do have them close to the Nano, which has been working out very well. Third degree with the Nano has been a scary presence for Mace to the face. But they need a bit more than that to really get this one rolling. Now the ultimate online, I don't know. They look good for both teams, really.
But an early kill onto Long is not going to be looking great for the defense here. That's trying to climb in, but it seems like the team have her number. Trainer so close to that EMP, not going to be popping it. Burbs are throwing in the grab either way, and now the kills are flowing for Mace to the face off the back of that grab. The card's looking pretty close to delivered here, man.
Yeah, I think they're going to be able to get a bit more presence here, but now with almost 6 ultimates ready on the defense, you're gonna kind of expect at least one hole to come out, especially with a kill like that onto Konotoki. It was very far forward, and Long actually manages to get that kill. It's a good thing because you want to have that confidence to still be able to win your hit scan duels sometimes.
Yeah, and actually the detection coming through onto Trainer, and Long knows they're in the crowd somewhere. Bob going in deep. The Earth Shatter trying to come in from third degree, doesn't quite land, but the hack onto third degree after the pin is crucial. That Maywall coming in at just the right moment to save their Reinhardt, so we can get that shield back up. Trainer with that EMP though has to translocate out as they get forced out by that May. It's looking like a little bit of a slower push, and the spy checking trying to come out from Chukaletobo. Trying to make
for it. They're looking for the Q.
They're going to be looking to find it.
Oh,
Pause.
well, we were ready for that, but it's just going to be a pause that we're hitting. We see a disconnect coming out here for one of the DPS. It's going to be Konotoki actually disconnecting here from the game. So we're going to get them back in here. Shouldn't be too long. In the meantime, like again, there's a lot of ultimates still online. Almost 4 on both teams. We're just waiting for Daibosa to get that shatter. And of course, Konotoki, I don't even remember what their ult charge was, but it's going to be 0 next. So that's unfortunate for them, obviously. But it happens to the best of us. We had a little bit of technical issues earlier on. Now they have a little bit of a tech issue. But it should be a fairly quick pause resolve, as we've been hearing. So yeah, I'm expecting this to be a heavy fight. And it's all about whether EMP comes out in the right position, yes or no. And Trainer is already behind them.
Yeah, I think it's not only that, but also if the EMP catches Rainbow, if Rainbow's able to counter beat with after that EMP, then not only do you still have that sound barrier online, you have the healing from the Lucio, the speed to maneuver, but it's just, that's such a good counter maneuver to what Trainer might be trying to set up here. You have to consider if Trainer's, keeping eyes on that Lucio, and if Rainbow is keeping like ears open for that Sombra call.
Yeah, because right now Trainer does actually have eyes on the Lucio. They can actually catch out the Lucio and the rest of the team, and Rainbow is not backing off that much. They're just around the corner. They don't know where the EMP is going to come from. Right now they can actually be hit by it. Might actually have to back up a little bit more than they are right now. So I think right now they'll be hit by it.
Yeah, they just got Rainbow. Rainbow still manages to get the sound barrier off onto all 5 remaining members, but it's not enough. Mace to the face comes in hot and heavy. Swinging Long going to be the only member still standing, but looks like the rest of Mace to the face is going to have some words.
Yeah, it's just Rainbow backing off just in time. Sees the Sombra appear. He's just, you know what? I'm going to back... yeah, he's going to backwards wall ride and get away from that. This card's getting awfully close to the end here already.
And third degree getting hacked early makes them an easy target for Konotoki to take out with that Peacekeeper. The anti-nade onto Daibosa, however, puts a little pressure onto that Reinhardt as well. The Coalescence and the sound barrier getting layered here. Mace to the face, not quite showing that support discipline that you might like, but that Coalescence is going to be used to focus down Long on that Ashe. Will eventually be cleaned up, and the cart delivered at a blistering pace with almost 4 minutes left.
Yeah, I think I said something about Mace to the face, being under pressure for that one. I think that's not really true anymore, because now it's going to be the pressure completely turned around here on the Storybook Heroes. 134 to get as far on King's Row as they can. They kept first point without any fail last time. So if they're able to do that again, and they can progress through Streets phase without being stopped at all, they have a very good chance of still going forward, but they really need to have a better first and second point hold if they want to make that true. And it's gonna be tough, Yeah, you gotta have your good attack, but then you gotta have an even better defense. Because I don't think they really left anything to chance on their attack. They might have swapped off to the McCree a bit later than they maybe should have against that Reaper. But other than that, their attack looked really solid. It's really their defense where they got completely rolled. And it's difficult dealing with the Sombra sometimes. Those hacks can come in at the most inconvenient times. It's exactly what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, you have to keep a head on a swivel when you're dealing with a Sombra. It adds an entirely new dynamic of distrust into the game. And it looks like on the defense, Trainer going to be opting for it once again, unless my colors are wrong. But it does look like they are. It looks like Trainer going to be on that Sombra, at least for the time being. They're getting confident with it now.
Now, of course, they're on the defense, so they can't really run back to spawn and swap unless they have a translocator in there already. You don't see really anybody looking to check for that Sombra right now. She's just doing what she does. Tries to come behind them. Probably going for a hack here. Can't really get the angle, so Trainer's back with the team without really doing anything.
Yeah, I think Long actually bumped into Trainer, didn't quite see it. However, Storybook Heroes now piling onto point. They're going to get the first tick that guarantees that this will not be a draw. Konatoki taking down the May, however, is a great opening for the defense. The swing back needs to come in strong from Long. Third degree gonna be stunned and hacked out with the McCree flashbang. The dynamite burning down Konatoki. That is a huge threat taken out for the defense. Things are looking good if the offense can make it happen, including the quick walk back. But Trainer getting the kill onto Long, and the hack onto Boomy might have helped just get this swing in favor of the defense. The Moira Coalescence coming out from Dynamic Jade. Phoenix has it online. Will they come in to return with it? It looks like they're instead gonna opt out and just let the team retreat.
Oh, the shatter from Diboza's ready. This fight's not over. It's basically just everyone's regrouped and they're just gonna go again. Are they gonna be ready for the shatter coming out already? Third degree's relatively close, but not quite there yet. And the Coalescence still there from Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix gonna be trying to make it happen soon here if the fight goes underway. The Grav comes in, the Earth Shatter trying to make something shift for third degree, not gonna find anything, and Mace to the face using their ultimates to some superb satisfaction here. 90% given up, but it's not the full tick.
No, it's not the full tick, and they're not going to be able to touch this point as well. Actually, someone was there. The Bob got on there. Long was on the high ground behind the point still. Got that touch, and now the Lucio's on there. But I don't think they're going to be able to catch this one because they're just trickling in one by one. And there's a Doomfist, the EMP. Overtime will take away. Eventually. It's going to happen, Waltham. Trust me, it's going to happen. And there it is. 90.3%. Like I said, it's definitely not going to be a draw, but it is to a degree holdable. I mean, we just saw how holdable it is for at least 1.5 minutes, and then some because of the overtime. So, yeah, 4 minutes should be possible, but it's not plausible that it's going to happen in what we've seen so far.
Yeah, so far, Mace to the face looking very strong. There haven't been too many times where it's been like questionable. Are they gonna succeed here? They've been holding everything at a moderately brisk and consistent pace. So you have to think this is a monumental task for Storybook Heroes.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, of course, they're not going to give up. That's not how we do things. We just play the game until the timer is actually up. So 3 minutes and 57 seconds. That's what you're going to hold. That's 3 seconds less than you get. And maybe the 3 seconds will actually make a difference. And they're setting up on the defense with Dynamic Jade on that Moira. Long on the McCree once again doesn't go for that. Doesn't go for that Ashe. And I think I like that. You know, if you're gonna expect either Reaper or Sombra to come out, that flashbang can be very impactful. And on the attack, and I mean, I don't know if they're gonna run a Symmetra. It would be cool if they did. They do some sort of high ground strat.
Yeah,
as well. No, it says Ryan Zarya, but I think the Symmetra might actually stick here.
No, I think it's a bait. Konatoki back in spawn. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. It's the McCree. There you go. I like being debated. It's fine. I'm happy to be debated by Symmetra.
And Konatoki going to be looking for those initial picks with Widow. They're probably only going to need one, but the hack onto third degree means that Mace to the face going to be able to bowl in here with no threat of a Ryan shield. The pin onto the May, that's going to be brutal here. Mace to the face now numbers up, and it looks like this is pretty much just going all their way. A kill onto Phoenix might not be enough to stop the bleeding here for Storybook Heroes.
Yeah, you see they sort of try this split high ground strat where they have a DPS and the off tank on the high ground and the Reinhardt on the low ground, but they're not executing it with the exact same composition. They're gonna try and come back in here, it looks like, but they're already losing 1 or 2 members. They do get some kills. The percentage is barely not there, but they have to keep touching this point now, otherwise this will be gone. It looks like they're actually winning this fight. It's not over just yet, Waltham. They're gonna get in here and just get the kills. They have a very weird, a very mobile composition now. But the tanks are still on the, and the supports are still in the same thing. It's the DPS that are really changing. That might have been the answer they needed all along. Just go Tracer Doomfist.
I don't know. Tracer Doomfist against a Sombra seems a little bit suspicious. As now we get into this little recovery phase from Mace to the Face. They have a lot of time here, Mana Class, to kind of regroup and go over a strategy.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes. You have the EMP already. That would probably just destroy any hopes and dreams that they have of holding this. Then no one can use any abilities or ultimates. And there it goes. A shatter. It's
Yeah, the 5-man EMP right into the waiting arms of Diboza's Shatter. It's looking like Mace to the Face are gonna succeed in taking it full cap this time. Trying to get the hack onto the Tracer. She's stuck where she is gonna be not long for this world. The cap goes up, and with that, Mace to the Face gonna be taking it the 3rd point.
Yeah, and they really did look like the better team today, as you know, as annoying as that sounds to say sometimes. And there will be Long actually getting to play the game. That's good to see. So that's 2 maps now where the play of the game has gone to the team that's not winning. I don't want to call anything out there, but that does mean that the mechanical plays sometimes being made here for Storybook Heroes are very conclusive, as in saying that, you know, they actually have some skill in them and they make some good plays here. But unfortunately, they can't pick out even a map win. And Mace to the Face, you know, they were on the higher win rate, so it's not something we necessarily didn't see coming. But you always hope for a bit of a close series, and this one was, the maps looked good, but Mace to the Face did look like the dominant team today.
Yeah, I have to agree. Mace to the Face, they just seemed like they had a slight edge in terms of the DPS and tanking capabilities. I thought that some of the support plays we saw come from Storybook Heroes were actually pretty impactful. Not going to work out in their favor this time around. So overall, ends up going to the Mace squad. And, you know, what else can you say? But I still think we saw some good games come out today.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that I can look forward to. Of course, we're not quite done with the season just yet, but the playoffs are coming up soon. So if you want to qualify for those, you do still have to get a proper win-loss ratio. The Storybook Heroes, they're getting closer to that mid-tier now, where they've won a few, they've lost a few, and Mace to the Face solidifying their place on more of the top end of the spectrum here in the rookie division. So they're going to be happy with this win, basically closing out their season in a very good fashion. Storybook Heroes, they'll have to potentially string some more wins together if they can, and otherwise they might not just not make it to that end final here. So yeah, good game overall. I definitely think we saw some interesting plays coming out there. Of course, some more creative and chaotic strategies, which is so what we expect from this division. But that didn't make it less entertaining to watch at all.
Yeah, I certainly have to agree here. But we are on a little bit of a tight schedule here, Man of Class. So we'll
Of
go ahead
course.
and dovetail that into our next game here, as we are going to be heading in towards our advanced division here. We do have the rosters up. It looks like, in fact, it's going to be the side of Draco Vortex versus Devious here. And overall, I'm excited to see these 2 teams get onto it.
I am as well, but we will give you slowly the slightest of breaks because, of course, hydration and just, you know, having some time to collect your thoughts, not hear our voices in your ears all the time. Maybe get some music going for a few minutes is always nice. Some peace and quiet. We'll be right back with you after the break for that next game in the advanced division. Once again, that's indeed going to be Draco Vortex versus Devious.